Hello everyone, welcome back to the next video. In this video I will show you how to display SwiftUI bar chart in Expo React Native. Now if you don't know what SwiftUI chart is, it's basically like normal charts. There are different types of charts, but I will be showing you for bar chart. And the advantage of this is I don't have to rely on any third-party library. It is available for all iOS devices. Again, now SwiftUI charts are only available for iOS, so this is only Expo React Native iOS tutorial only. We can't do it for Android. Also, given that Apple handles all the complexity for us, there would be lesser bugs as compared to a third-party library. So let's get started. So first you will have to go to this particular URL. So I'll just open this because we need to create an Expo project. Now I will be using this blank TypeScript project because it has a lesser code as compared to this default, which comes with a bunch of libraries which I don't like. But again, you can choose whatever you feel like. So here I will just go to your workspace directory and just run this particular command. So it will create a like an Expo TypeScript project for us. Now it will ask us for our project name. I'll just keep it simple, my app. Okay, let it do its own thing because it will do npm install and all that stuff. One thing which I want to mention at the very start is I have created a sample project called first. I will be copying a lot of code from this project because this was like I was practicing this before recording this tutorial, and it's very difficult for me to remember all the code by heart. That's why, and I'm not good at video editing, that's why I'm not doing this. So I'll be copying a lot of code from this first project which I have created, so don't get confused if I move from one project to another. Okay, then the next step is given that we will be writing our own native module, we can't use Expo Go. We have to create our native module for this. So for that you can go to this particular documentation. Okay, by that time what I'll do is I will open this app which I have created. So here you can see we don't have the iOS folder, given that this is iOS specific tutorial. We need the iOS folder. So for this we have to go over to this documentation. We have to select iOS device. Don't select Expo Go. We have to select development build. I'm not interested in ES. ES is a cloud service. I want to build everything locally. Now I have already done the Xcode setup, command line tools, then what else, Watchman. So I've already done this. If you haven't, do follow all the steps. But what I am interested in this particular command, so we have to generate the dev client. So given that my app is ready now, I'll just cd to my app and I will just run this particular command. Now again it will do some npm installation. It won't really create an iOS folder for us. Okay, let it do its thing. Then once that is done, we have to run this particular command. So this will actually create the iOS folder for us. So that's the important part. Okay, so here that is done. Now I will just copy this command and paste it. Again this will take little bit of time because it have to do CocoaPod installation. Firstly it is asking me for an iOS bundle identifier. I'll just click on enter, but typically your bundle identifier should be com.your-company-name.your app name. I'll just click on enter. I'll keep it default. So it will create the native iOS directory. So it has already created, but it needs to do CocoaPod installation. So this will take little bit of time, so be patient. Okay, next in the meantime I'll explain to you few stuff. So we have to add a native module to our application. So for that we will have to go to this particular documentation. I'll just open that as well. And over here, as you can see, to create a native module we have to write run this particular command. So again this will take little bit of time, so I'll be patient, and once that is done I'll come back. Okay, so that command has finished running. So what I'll do is that I'll just run this particular command. So it will create the Expo module for us, and I'll just click on enter once that particular command is finished. So just click on enter and it will create an Expo module for us. Again it will ask you for your module name. I'll keep things simple. I'll just name it as my module. You can change the name to whatever you feel like. I'll click on enter. Here I'll just click on enter again. I'll click on enter again, and again it will download the template from npm. Okay, so it has already downloaded. Once that is done, you have to copy this command and paste it over here and run this particular command as well, because it will do CocoaPod installation for this particular native module which we have created. So if you see my project here, you can see we have this modules which is the native module, so we'll have to run this particular command as well. So I'll quickly run this command, and again this will take little bit of time, so be patient. My CocoaPods installation setup is complete. Then the next thing which you have to do is you have to go to your app, go to iOS, double click on this XE workspace folder. It will open our project, iOS project inside Xcode. So let's hold on a bit because this takes a little bit of time as well. Okay, so here is our project. So first there is one thing which you have to understand is SwiftUI charts. Basically this bar chart which we are doing, as we have to write some SwiftUI code for that, and it is only SwiftUI charts is only available from iOS 16. So that's a disadvantage. So you can't really target older versions of iOS. So firstly you will have to go to your app, go to general, and here you will have to update the iOS deployment target to 16. Also you will have to go over here and change the iOS deployment target to 16 over here as well. Then you can just go to pods, go to development pods, and scroll down, and here is our my module. We'll have to write the code inside Xcode because we need to create few Swift files as well. If you directly create it via VS Code, Xcode will might throw an error, so I don't want to take that chance. So first what I'll do is that I'll just go to my first project. Again, don't get confused, this is my practice project which I had created before recording this. So here we have to create this so I'll just open all of these files. Okay, so first we have to create this my chart view. Okay, I'll just this is fine. So I'll just copy this file name. Okay, I will just right click on module, new file, Swift file, click next, and here I will name it as my chart view. But here make sure scroll down, here your my module should be checked. If it is not checked, again you will get error, and mine is checked, so I'll just click on create. So here is our my chart view. So I'll just copy paste this code and I'll explain it to you. Okay, so here is our SwiftUI. Here we are importing charts. This functionality is only available from iOS 16. Now what is this view month? This will be a struct which I will create shortly, but it will have data like ID, user ID, and one more thing like on the ID, because there is something called identifiable or identifier which is required for SwiftUI, as you can see over here, to differentiate between items. And for the x-axis we will have users, and for the y-axis we will have view count. This you can change it to whatever you feel like. Let me complete the entire code so that you will have a better idea. Here I have set the height as 300, and here you can see I'm using a chart, but here as you can see I'm using a bar mark, so it is a bar chart. I'll come back to this code later on so that I can explain it to you better. We don't have to change anything inside PodSpec, so I'll just remove that. Here you can see I have created this Swift file called view month. Okay, I'll just right click, new file, Swift file, again my view month. Again make sure your my module is selected. Okay, click create. Again I'll just copy paste this inside my app. So here is a struct, and from our React Native side we will be sending all this data, ID, users, as well as view count, which I will show you later on. Then we have this my module view which is already been created, as you can see over here by Expo. So firstly we have to import SwiftUI over here, so I will do that. Now we can't directly write SwiftUI code in our Expo view, that's why we have to use this UI view, and then we have to use something like UI hosting controller to host our SwiftUI view. Okay, in case if you're not able to understand, that's fine. Here is our UI view, okay, which is the parent view. Here is our view month, and here is our chart data which we will get from React Native side. Now this chart data will be in string format because I don't know how to pass complex data types from React Native to Swift. That's why I'm passing string format, like I'm stringifying our JSON and passing it, and here we are decoding it on the Swift side. So again, this is boilerplate code which you have to write. So I'll just copy that. I will explain it more. First let me write down all copy all the code. So here we are just adding our sub view, which is view. Here we are adding our setting our frames to our view, and this is the actual part of decoding the data. So once we have the data in string format, we are getting the data, we are converting it to data format. Then we just use JSON decoder. Here we pass our view month. Okay, then we get array of view month. If there is something already present in list response, I remove that. Then I append our post over list response. Then here we create our chart view, and here we create our UI hosting controller, which is again boilerplate code which you have to write to embed a SwiftUI view inside a UI kit view. And then we get our SwiftUI view. Here again I'm doing translate auto, so this is part of NS layout constraints. Then we get our current view controller, add our VC to our current controller. Then we add our SwiftUI view to our view. Here again I'm doing NS layout constraints. Then again this is boilerplate code which you have to write for embedding SwiftUI view inside UI kit. So I'll just do some proper IntelliSense. Now also we have to add this particular annotation, given that it is only available from iOS 16. Okay, then so this is done. Then coming over here, so as you can see, previously by default, if you see this particular part, it takes a prop called name. I don't like the name prop. Okay, I'll change it to chart data. Okay, so I'll copy this and I'll paste it over here. So this is the prop which React Native will give us. Then this is our view, my model view. This is our chart data. Then I'm just checking if this chart data variable which I have, I'm assigning it over here. Okay, so if it is I'm assigning it over here. If it is already same to what React Native is sending, then I don't want to re-render my component, right? That's why I have added this if check. But once we have that, then I'm just calling this show chart method which I have defined over here, which will display our SwiftUI view. So again I'll just do proper IntelliSense. Okay, so hopefully you have got the point. Again we also have to annotate it with @available iOS 16, because this inherently uses my model view internally uses SwiftUI chart. That's why I have to mark this as iOS 16 as well. Now given that this is chart data, what you will have to do is you will have to go to your module, go to src my module types.ts, and instead of name we will use chart data. Also we need to add view props because we need some styling. So just add that. Okay, why is this not working? So view props should be come from React Native. This view props is because we will be adding some styling, React Native styling, right? That's why it's important we add this view prop. All right, now how to use it? Go to app.tsx. Now again I'll just go to my first project because I have some dummy data inside that. I'll just copy that dummy data over here. So this is our, so you can import it something like this. So I'll just copy it and I'll paste it over here. So this is our view. Okay, and to display it we can use something like this. So I can use something like this. I will remove the text, I don't want it. And here width I am getting from use windows dimension, so I can use something like this. So this use windows dimension is a hook which gives us the what is the current width and height of our device. I'm not really using this height, so I can remove it. So here you can see inside our chart data I am sending data like this. Now you will understand where this users and view count came from inside our Swift struct. But instead of users and view count, you can take whatever you feel like, but make sure you have this ID. Otherwise this is required like to because we are looping over it, just like we have key inside React. If you are looping over, like if you are doing map of some data or looping over something, that somehow same thing we require ID on SwiftUI side as well. So this is our users and this is our view count. And here also one more thing I want to tell you is height I have kept it as 300. Whatever height you keep it over here, make sure you use the same height inside my chart view as well. So over here, okay, ignore these errors, like this is, yeah, so the error will go away. So make sure you use the same height. Again, you can pass the height as a prop as well, but I don't want to complicate too much. So here you can see this is our height, this is our width. So hopefully you have got it. Again, I'll come back to this code. What we did was, this is our chart view. So this, firstly we created this struct, right? Again, use the same naming which we have used it on JavaScript side. So id, users and view count. Again, instead of users and view count, you can take whatever you feel like. We need something on the x-axis, we need something on the y-axis, so make sure, that's why I've taken users and view count. You can replace it with whatever. Again, I'll just do proper indentation. So make sure you use the same thing. Also the data type is important, make sure you use only numbers or doubles. So int or double you can use it. Okay, so now you understand where this struct, why do we need to define this struct. Now also here inside our chart view, so we will get an array of this view month. We are just looping over it, so we are doing a for each loop inside our chart. And here I am setting the height, whatever is the height for our React Native component we have set inside the styling. And here I am using bar mark. So here for the x, so this will be the x label, and here we just pass view month.users. Similarly for views, view month.view count. So change it to whatever, if you are naming it different, change it to whatever you feel like. And coming back to our my module, hopefully you understood this. Okay, and here if you come to my module, we were basically creating a UI view. Here we will get a list of view month which we need to send it to my chart view. This is boilerplate code which we have to write. You can check the Expo documentation as well. And this show chart is called from my module file. So basically we get this data in form of string, right? We convert it to data, then that data is converted to using JSON decoder. We get it in form of array of view month, then we just append it to this, then we pass that particular to our my chart view. Then this is like mostly boilerplate code which you have to write, given that we are embedding a SwiftUI view inside our UIKit application. So I'll try to run it and I'll show you guys the output.
Hey guys, so as you can see, here is the output. So I'm displaying my bar SwiftUI chart in Expo React Native. If I want, I can change those values as well. So just to show it to you, here you can see this is my simulator, and if I change the value, okay, I'll just close this, just move it over here, and here you can see if I change the value to, I don't know, maybe 5, here you can see our chart is getting updated. I'll change it to 50. You can see chart is getting updated. Just change it back to 10, and here you can see our chart is getting updated. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. Bye.